Hello, people. I'm Gex. You can probably tell I was absent for a little while. I want to try to build a better upload schedule, but as for right now, can't really do that. So I'll try to make videos as best as I can and as often as I can, but no promises, unfortunately. As I was starting to say, hi, I'm Gex, as you people probably know already, and I'm here today to dialogue with you about, well, in a way, the contrary or the opposite of my last video. And that would be anxiety. It's one of the contraries, I guess you could say, but not exactly. But my point is anxiety and how it can affect somebody. Anxiety is, well, something that a lot of people deal with, as you can probably tell. Um, Anxiety is a topic that not many people are comfortable with talking about. Anxiety is a normal part of life. It's a worry. You can worry about health, money, family, rela relationship, and there are lots of anxiety disorders that involve different degrees of anxiety, and it can affect you in different ways. I am a person that has been affected by anxiety here and there in their life. And I'd say that, well, as far as things go in terms of anxiety, it can ruin your life. It's something that a lot of people, I wouldn't say submit to, but it's definitely something a lot of people don't account for in some situations. Um, but some people's most common fear of anxiety is, well, having a situation in front of them, having a situation being presented to them where they have to act, where they have to do their best, where they have to prepare themselves the best they can for a certain situation. And their biggest worry is, what if I'm not good enough? Well, I've had that question on my mind a couple of times in my life. Maybe sometimes you just need somebody to be there to support you. Maybe sometimes no matter how much support you receive, it won't be enough. Maybe sometimes even when you get that support, it still won't change your mind about what you do not be enough. Sometimes it's sad to hear that. It's sad to realize that. And in general, it's something that some people have to live against or with, whatever you want to call it. It's something that's not easy at all to realize that your best isn't gonna be enough. And here's where I come to talk about the situation. Depending on your form of anxiety, there can be different solutions. Talking to a friend, doing something you love, just facing the problem head on. Depends on the situation, of course. Most of the time, you really, despite how easy it is to talk about it instead of doing, the best thing you might try to do is keep a level head and not let the circumstances get to you. Not let yourself be brought down by these emotions. One thing I always kept saying in my last video is that there's always a solution. It's something I firmly believe in, but it's not always so clear. Depends on the situation, the person, and the will and character of the person. But in terms of anxiety, I truly believe that what it depends more is on the situation. Not exactly on the person per se, but it depends more on the situation the person is facing. Sure, there are effects from the person themselves that come into play, but it also depends on the situation, mostly, in my opinion at least. And it also comes to the person to find the appropriate solution to their problem. A thing that I find most about people sometimes is that they genuinely don't know what the solution is. In some desperate cases, they don't know what the problem even is sometimes. Sometimes people just don't know what's wrong. Sometimes people just don't know that. And that's fine. You don't start off with everything figured out. You shouldn't bash yourself because you didn't start off as some I know it all. And especially when it comes to anxiety, it's a thing that it affects everyone. Some people know how to hide it a lot more than others. Some people know how to show it a lot more than others. It depends on the person in terms of how they handle their anxiety, and depends on the situation on which solution they will find to, well, solve the problem that's causing the anxiety. Sometimes there even isn't a problem. There isn't even a problem, sorry. Sometimes it's the person overthinking things that aren't there. The human mind's biggest weakness is being its worst enemy. There are a lot of people who imagine scenarios in situations that don't need to be imagined, that have something so easily printed in front of them, but they still find a way to complicate it. They have a situation that's so easily decipherable, however, they still find a way to make it complicated. That's why I'd say the human mind is its greatest enemy. And when it comes to anxiety, it shows its truth. Sure, the problem that you're dealing with may cause some pressure here and there, but there's sometimes here and there that the problem isn't all that pressuring, it's yourself putting the pressure on you. And as much as sometimes this is a hard pill to swallow to some people, it's the truth. There's a lot of moments that aren't that stressful, but people make it out to be in a way that it's so much more stressful than it has to be, simply because of what they're thinking, of what they're imagining. Having too wide of an imagination can be a double-edged sword, because it can support you and it can stab you in the back. Your own mind can be plotting against you. It's just that you don't know it is. In general, the best tips I could lay down for anxiety, dealing with anxiety, and so forth would be keep a level head, keep a calm soul, calm spirit, and never forget who you are. Never forget your self-worth. If it's some problems like you're afraid you won't succeed at something, don't forget who you are. Don't forget that you've come this far. Now is not really the time to start doubting yourself. Start imagining yourself failing. I don't know who needs to hear this now, today, maybe to this week even, but you've got this. We're all behind you. I'm behind you, rooting for you. In general, I'll be frank, you could look at anxiety like a trial, something that you need to get through in order to not only to grow as a person, but to reach higher plateaus in life. Whether that be your dream job, starting a family, or just getting something done that needs to be done. Whether it be any of those things, there's sometimes going to be anxiety that follows you. And some people just don't know how to deal with it. It saddens me that a lot of these cases, it's the fear of failure or fear of too much pressure, or fear of messing up, or whatever it may be, that causes a lot of people to lose on huge opportunities for themselves, or to lose on a lot of things that they love because of anxiety. It deeply saddens me, I swear to you. But it's life. And I may be no coach of life. I never claimed to be a coach of life. I'm just here to try and help in any way, shape, or form that I can. And in terms of anxiety, if any of the people hearing this right now are feeling with anxiety, fear of failure, whatever it may be, you've got this. All right? You've got this. Everything's gonna turn out all right. Okay? The more you keep thinking about it, the worse it gets. The more you imagine it won't be okay, the worse it gets. Picture yourself with this thing resolved. And pick your path from there. Don't stop worrying about it, but stop being anxious about it. Worrying and being anxious are two different things. When you're worried about something, it means that you care about it. When you're anxious about something, it means that thing is like slowly eating you. Until all you can think about is that thing. Being anxious doesn't help you at all. That's been all for today. Whenever I can post a new video about new topic, I'll do my best to hopefully cheer some of you up if I can. I'll also be posting possibly different kinds of videos in the future, so stay tuned for that. And until next time, I've been Gex, and I hope I've helped you in some way today.